This is part 2 of my step-by-step watercolor painting. So you can see my pencil sketch, and this is the video that I did last, and you can see also I forgot to press record on the video. I think I actually had loads of video of just still of the pencil, so I think I actually pressed record when I should have pressed stop. So I do apologize about that, but you can see I've just really done the initial first wash. So I've just covered the paper, just left the figures and a couple of places, like for example the flowers in the foreground just before you get to the people. The reason why I left that blank is I wanted quite a vibrant, rich, vibrant colour. So it's kind of hard in watercolour to get those rich, strong colours, the vivid colours, if you're sort of going over a colour underneath. So that's the reason why I kept that blank. So I'm just going in now with a few darks, some shadows, and just these shadow parts of the gate. So you got some nice tones in the gate, and there's, you can see a bit of reflected light shining on the gate on the right hand side, and also on the left on the top. So I've left that quite pale. I'll be going over that with some opaque paint towards the end of the painting process. So I'm using my Bockingford cold press paper, as always, £140. I do like this paper, and it's really quite inexpensive to get. I do get packs of 50 of these, 50 sheets of size 11 by 15. So that's the size I'm using. And you can actually see my tape. I had some issues with my tape. I've run out of the tape that I've just started using, and that's a decorator's more sort of quality masking tape. And I would say that's quite an important part of painting, especially if you like to tape your work to, or the paper to, a board. I think it's quite important to get some decent masking tape to hold that sort of to the board. So this tape I've just had to use some that was lying around, and this one sort of started ripping, and it loses its it just loses its stickiness if it's been in the warmth. So it sort of started ripping off as I was pulling the tape off. So you can see I made a mess of the tape, but I had to go ahead anyway. So not to worry, it's not gonna, hopefully doesn't affect it too much, as long as I try and stop bleeding through the tape, and I want a crisp, clean edge at the end. So if you do stay tuned, you'll see take the tape off and get that clean, crisp edge of a border. So it's quite a nice scene. I really do like this scene. It makes me want to sort of go and sit with the people in the scene. The reference photo is really nice. I can just imagine sitting there and having a drink, a cold drink or something. It's a really nice sunny day, and you got these nice flowers and nice bits of shrubbery, and so all those sort of things going on. And I do like the way the light comes through the scene. You can see coming down the path, you can see where I've got the bit of shadow. So the sun and the light is coming from the right hand side, coming through to the left. So you do have these nice shadows and nice sort of tones on the left hand side. So that's quite important. You've got to look at these scenes and figure out where the light source is coming from. And I do like to paint things with a nice sort of sunny contrast to the scene. So that's something that I do look for when I look for references in what I paint. So I'm using my Winsor & Newton paints. These are professional grade. I quite enjoy working with these paints, and I do normally use Jackson's watercolors as well, but just for convenience, and I know all these colours, I'm using the Winsor & Newton. And by the way, the darks of the trees you can see that I've put in there, I've actually used something I don't normally do. I've always sort of wondered how to get these really rich dark tones, whether it's shadow or just to get that high contrast. I've actually used straight neat paint from the tube. So for the shrubbery, the green and the dark, I've actually used Payne's grey mixed in with sap green. So that's how I've got this really strong colour. On the board itself, the sort of billboard, I've used a straight Payne's grey. So this is a stage that I find quite important as well. If you get paint coming over the tape, sort of dripping down because you're using quite a lot of water, then just take your brush and sort of clean it off, mop any sort of unwanted paint that's coming down. You want to stop that from travelling or going backwards into the painting. Although my board's at quite an angle, it'd be difficult to do, but it can still bleed through and ruin the tape, and you can get all these sort of unwanted edges. So just going in, I'm not wanting facial features or anything like that. This is just an impression of the scene. So I am getting the figures in, but I'm doing them quite basic, just shapes and impressions of people. I was debating whether to go realistic with this painting, but I just thought I'd keep it fairly simple. I have speeded the video up, as you can see, just so that you can see the whole process. Otherwise this video would have been quite long, and I wanted to keep it quite quick, quite snappy, and hopefully you can watch the whole of the video just to see what the result is that I get in the end. So let me know in the comments below what you think of this scene, what you think of the composition, the tones, the sort of summer feel. Just let me know what you think, and I'd appreciate if you do enjoy this video, then please give us a thumbs up, give us a like on the video. That really does help my channel. And just add in, again, I could have added every single brick, and I was considering doing that. I nearly went for that sort of look, but I guess I'm kind of lazy and wanted to do things a bit quicker, so I just popped down. Each brick was like a pressing on the brush and just getting the sort of shape of the brush, and that was a brick for the wall. So just popping in the flowers. I'm using the again, I forgot to press record on the video, so I do apologize. There's just a few flowers that I've added, and I've added the flower pots as well, so it's a nice color, and I like the way that's sort of turned out. And I've got these dark colors to add the back of the people and darken the buildings up slightly. So when you're painting in watercolor, when you add the darks, the darker you go, the lights on the painting, the lighter tones or the highlights seem to pop even more. So that's another thing to keep your eye out for. And this strong sort of contrast does help the painting really sort of pop. And just getting in the basic sort of figures. Like I said, it's just an impression, so I'm not going too realistic. This is quite a tricky part, painting, writing in paint with a paintbrush. You'll see that I do change over to the rigged brush, and then it's quite difficult to do. I was contemplating using my gel pen. I've got a white gel pen, but it doesn't seem to work as well as I wanted. So this just gives a nice covering, although quite difficult to use. Just let me know what you think. Is there an easier way to add text in white? Let me know in the comments below. Just using my sepia ink pen just to bring out some of the brickwork on the walls. I just thought that add another layer of texture, and just thought it needed a little bit of darkening on the left hand side, so I just went over and layered over that bit of the wall. So you can see just a few final touches here and there. There's bits of writing on the banners on the building in the sort of forecourt area. So I've just scribbled down with ink on that. It's too far to see, so I didn't have to write anything in particular, just make some marks to give an impression of writing. And now it's time to take the masking tape off. This is one of my favourite parts of the whole painting process, just to get that nice clean edge, that nice border. As you can see, not much of a problem. It has worked, just a little bit of bleeding through just on a couple of corners, but it's worked out quite well. Drop us a comment, let me know what you think of this painting. You can see not much detail really. I've gone simplistically. It's quite a nice painting, I think. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.